Who are you? Why did you decide to sit as the Soño? This is the Statue of Peace, also known as Soñosang. It symbolizes victims and survivors of the comfort woman system, a euphemism meant to erase the pain and trauma of military rape and torture. Short, disheveled hair, clenched fists, a glimpse of deep agony, anger, and sadness. Lives uprooted, yet no true home to return to. Yearning for justice, but never losing hope to be free like a butterfly. This is my story of Come Sit With Her. My name is Mina, and I'm a survivor advocate with CanWin. We're a domestic violence and sexual assault services organization. Today, we're taking the Soñosang to downtown Chicago for the hashtag Come Sit With Her performance. We do this every August to commemorate the Global Action Day for Justice for Comfort Women Survivors. In our hashtag Come Sit With Her performance, we simply tell the stories of victims and survivors and invite people to sit next to the Soño. Because of the pandemic this year, only us advocates came out to the performance. But we know that our supporters will be joining us virtually and are with us in spirit. In 1991, survivor Kim Hak-sun Halmoni spoke out about her experience as a living proof of comfort woman. Then she and fellow survivors sparked a global social justice movement.
Activists and survivors have partnered with supporters across the world to build a transnational social movement for justice. For example, the survivors have traveled across the globe to give their public testimony. And through these events, they have not only helped build awareness around this particular issue and shared their experiences, but they have built partnerships with local organizations like CanWin. Also, through events like the Global Action Day, supporters around the world have held solidarity protests in August. So these different means, whether it's been through testimonial events or through protests or through other activities like film screenings, these have been activities that have helped really build this transnational movement in support of the women.
CanWin's mission is to eradicate gender-based violence for all. This means joining survivor-led movements and amplifying the stories of those working towards justice. Our place in the Comfort Woman movement is as educators and advocates to mobilize our communities in the fight against gender-based oppression wherever and whenever it takes place. In 2018, I actually performed as the Soño. In that moment, I felt rejected and unheard when I sat on the chair alone, barefoot, watching numerous people walk past me, refusing to even look at my direction or even acknowledge my existence. I felt dismissed, disregarded, invisible. But as the performance progressed, one by one, passers-by stopped and began to take turns sitting next to me. I could feel the sincerity with every step that they took to approach me. Coming into an empty circle, every step being witnessed by a huge crowd of people who were standing many feet away. I felt a shared feeling of ache and a sense of consolation, especially by those who placed their hands on mine or looked into my eyes the entire time they were sitting on the chair. The Soño is still waiting for a sincere official apology. The Japanese government continues to deny the truth despite the overwhelming evidence of the crime. Elderly survivors are passing away one by one. It is urgent that we, especially the younger generation, continue their legacy by uplifting their rights and in doing so, uplift the rights of all survivors.
As a second-generation Chinese American, I think it's important to join the Comfort Women Justice movement because the history of Japanese military sexual slavery is here and it's now. It's our responsibility to let these survivors know that we believe them. We are enraged by what the Japanese Imperial Army forced them to experience. We do not accept the treatment that they have received, and we are going to continue to uplift their stories, uplift their demands, and demand justice for the rest of their lives and beyond that too.
Comfort Women Justice is important to me both as a person of Japanese descent as well as a survivor. I believe it is imperative for Japan to commit to the authentic and truthful recognition of comfort women, as well as provide reparations to the survivors, their descendants, and their communities. As well as Japan needs to stop the historical erasure of the violence it enacted as an imperialist power across Asia and the Pacific. Therefore, I feel it is a responsibility for Japanese Americans and Nikkei around the world to hold Japan accountable for their actions and refute any attempts to sanitize our people's history.
Initially, I felt uneasy at the thought of sitting as the Sonya because I was well aware of what this represented and whom I was representing. It led me to question, who am I to do this and express the survivors' pain and their resilience, all of which I cannot even fathom. But at the end of the day, I knew that these uncertainties were so inconsequential, and they did not even compare to the gravity of this issue and the awareness that it deserves. Sonya's story compels me and all of us at Canwen to join the Comfort Women survivors' fight for justice. We will not forget their stories and experiences, nor will we ignore their calls for peace and eradication of sexual violence everywhere. This is my story of Come Sit With Her. Who are you? Will you come sit with her?